Hi, this is Kathi Quinn with Floriani. Floriani is a division of R&K Distributing, and I want to welcome you to this week's Project of the Week. Now, last week you may have noticed a blog by Marty Sandell on our hidden treasures in our custom shapes. Did you realize there's over 260 hidden treasures? And DJ suggested that we explore them this week, so we're going to look at that. Now we have easy artwork, and we've talked about this a lot because, as most of y'all know, I'm an artwork girl. I love to play with the artwork. So if you'll come right up here to the custom shapes and left mouse click, we have these custom shapes. Well, if you notice in the folder now, we have custom shapes, or I can left mouse click on the down arrow and I can find easy art. Now let me tell you a little bit about Easy Art. Easy Art has been specifically done to make changing to stitches very easy. Now, as you and I already know, because I use it all the time, our custom shapes are a one-click wonder. But our easy artwork shapes have even been worked on a little extra. Now let's explore this. Now obviously you can see we've got a nice alphabet in here. But let's start looking at some of these other themed objects in here that we could use. You know, with all the kids and Jake the Pirate and Pirates of the Caribbean, you've got a lot of stuff in here. We've got our fire trucks, our rockets, our tractors, some pretty artwork to do maybe on the corner of a napkin. You know, make some labels, borders. But as we look through, you can see there's holidays in here. I love these measuring spoons, the mixer, the bowl, just a lot of themed objects. So as we go down and scroll down in here, you can notice there's all kinds of wonderful one-click wonder artwork. Now Marty had an absolutely excellent exercise for putting more than one piece together. So we're going to explore that. Then we're going to come back and look at just a couple of other things. Now Marty had suggested you select the sewing machine. So here we have it. Now with this sewing machine, we are going to come back into our artwork, our custom. We're going to come down to our easy art, and we're going to come down, and in here there is also a spool. So let's come on down. And I'm going to say, well, how could I have missed it? I found it yesterday. Let's go back and see why Kathi can't see. Come on down. Don't you hate it when these things just don't want to? Well, we'll grab this. There we go. That looks kind of spoolish. Now I'm going to put this up here, and I'm going to come up here and shrink it down so it would fit very nicely here like a spool of thread. Now I'm going to come here, and I'm going to select in our sequence view. I'm going to go ahead and select all items. Now I want to make this one solid piece of artwork because we're going to create an applique. So we have some options here. We have trim, weld, because what I want to do is I want to weld this spool onto this sewing machine. So I'm going to click weld with everything selected, and now we have created one piece of artwork with a spool of thread. So we can combine pieces of these pieces of artwork, and we can weld it together and make it one object. So now that this is one object, we can come in here and very easily come down to our one-click wonders. We could come here and just make this a nice run stitch if maybe I wanted to quilt, you know, put quilting stitches around something on other blocks. Maybe I want to do an embroidery of a sewing machine, and then on the other block do some outline quilting. Or I might want to come over and I might want to say, let's turn this into an applique. So now I've turned it into an applique, but I have closed my properties box so you could see my sequence view. So let's come right back up here to the top, and you'll notice between the gear, the program preferences, and the undo and redo, I can just left mouse click on properties and my properties box comes back. Now since I have created this as an applique, now I can come in here and work with it. Well, that's a little bit wide, my applique stitch for me. Of course, I can also make this a little bigger. But now I've created a nice little applique here. And of course, we know with our applique, we could have picked a blanket or a motif stitch. We're going to stay with satin for this exercise. So now we have created a nice little applique. So you'd come in. There's your placement line. Of course, we all know, and if you watch one of my applique videos, that I would print this out on template tearaway and have my shape pre-cut so I don't trim in the hoop. Then I would lay down my fabric. I would go ahead and, let's go ahead and change the color of our background so you can see this just a little better, because white is one of our colors here. Now I'm going to put my tack down stitch in, and then I'm going to come in and finish. So how easy and simple was that? We took two shapes, welded them together, and had some fun. Let's go back and look. Let's come back in here and let's look at our easy art, look at some of our possibilities. I mean, this is just fun. I mean, I'm so excited that Marty found this because there's some really cool stuff. I hadn't even realized that it was there until I saw Marty's blog. So let me tell you, that blog is an important thing to look at. We could do a nice little baby item. Let's bring in this duck. Maybe we would like to put this on a nice little burp cloth. So now in here, because we have the artwork, we've got some fun to play with. So I'm going to go ahead right now and close this properties box so we can look at the different pieces of our duck. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to grab the duck, and I think I'm going to make that a fill stitch. So here we go, one click wonder. Now I want that fill stitch, I want a yellow duck. So I'm going to left mouse click on yellow. So I've got my yellow duck. Now I'm going to go ahead and work on my wings. I want those to stitch out next. Remember, think about, and I want you to notice this is actually done in the correct order. If I had looked, let's undo as our friend. Undo, undo. Notice that the artwork has already been set up for you in the correct order, because when we turn these into stitches, we want to do just like a landscape. What's farthest away, we're going to turn into stitches first. So they've already done it for me. First thing I need to do is the back of his little beak here. So let's grab that. So let's go ahead and I'll just leave him in gray. And you know what? I'm going to measure. Let's do a little measuring here. We have a measuring tool. And I'm going to come in here and measure this. And this says, Kathi, I can use a satin. It's very important to always use the correct stitch for the width of your object, because the width of the object being converted determines the type of stitch you're going to have. Walter has taught us Embroidery 101, Digitizing 101, correct stitches. So this says I can use a satin. So I'm going to grab this, and I've got this selected, and I'm going to come down. Let me see what I've got to get rid of my ruler. That was very important. Let me show you this. Do you notice I had my ruler on, correct? I had my ruler on and I have this selected. Why aren't any of my icons available? Because I have another tool on my cursor. Even though that's selected, my cursor is not a selection tool. So it is not going to allow me to select a stitch. And sometimes that gets frustrating or confusing because you don't realize why you can't select it. So watch, I'm going to hit my escape key. Now notice the minute I escaped and let go of the ruler, all of my icons are now available. I'm going to hit auto satin. I'm going to let it do a nice little auto satin in there. Now the next thing is my bird, my duck. So I'm going to come down, and I had already determined I wanted a fill stitch, and I wanted that fill stitch in yellow. So I've changed that. Now the next thing to go is his beak. So let's come on with his beak. Now again, I could come in here and say, how wide is this beak? Okay, I need to use a fill on this beak. So again, I'm going to escape my measuring tool. I'm going to go ahead and grab a fill stitch. And I think I'm going to make his beak an orange. So I'm going to click search and type in orange. Now obviously if I know the color, the number of the orange I want, I could have selected that, but I don't know which one I want, so I'm going to orange. Now let's come to his little eye. So there's his eye. Again, let's measure. Let's make sure we measure so that we do everything correct. This says I can use a satin. Great. So escape your measuring tool, and I'm going to go with my auto satin again. I really like the auto satin because it looks at the radius. It does a very good job. Now I've got my little black dot here. Now this is pretty small, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to even deselect that and get my ruler here, because I'm going to tell you. And let's zoom in. Let's just zoom in on this little eyeball. Now let's go ahead, and again I'm going to escape my tool. I'm going to grab my ruler. Well, good. It's just wide enough for a satin. 7 millimeters. Perfect. So we're going to grab that. Again, escape your tool. Have to take it off. Come here, my love. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to auto satin that as well. Let's double click our magnifying glass to put it back in perspective. Now I'm going to do my little swishes here. And I am going to do those in an auto satin. And I'm going to auto satin them. And I'm going to go back to my yellows. And I'm going to make that one just a little darker. Now how cool is this? Let's 3D. Come here, my little duck. That's pretty doggone good because we have very nice artwork. Now of course you could get fancy. You could come in here and grab our duck now, our fills. And let's grab his body fill. And I could say, you know what, with that body fill, I might want a textured satin, a fancy satin. So let's open up our properties. I've selected fancy by my one-click wonder down here. And now I can come in here and maybe look through and do something different with his body. Give him a little fancy fill here. So let's look through because we've got lots and lots of fills to pick from. Oh, there's a good one. Okay, and remember, select, command, and apply. I selected my body. I commanded it to be fancy $3.99. Now I have to apply to make it real. Oh, so see, I could put a little texture in him. I could put a little texture in his head. But you get the idea. We can come in here and now play with this easy art with multiple colors, and that I really, really like. See, the thing is with our custom shapes, when we had our custom shapes, we've got outlines. Now we can fill them in and everything, but with the custom shapes, I'm going to have one solid blue bird with no eyes, no anything. But with the easy art that DJ has worked on for us, he has given us all the details so we have easy art. My treasure chest, my pirate, you get the idea. How cool is this? The truck where you can put all the pieces. You don't have to start adding eyeballs and stuff to all of this because DJ did it for you. How cool is easy art? I hope you enjoyed this week's lesson. I hope you found something new in Floriani. I look forward to seeing you again next week at the Project of the Week.